carefully. You dream it. We blaze it.
Good morning. Welcome to Dreamblazers Academy. You dream it, we blaze it. This morning, it's a bit different. Joe is not in this morning. He'll be joining us hopefully next week. So things are gonna be a little bit different today. It's just gonna be myself and you guys out there. Good morning to everyone. Good afternoon to those in other parts of the world. Good evening to those in other parts of the world. Those in UK, good morning. Welcome. Please do share the video. And today's topic, we're continuing with our disciplines. And today we are on the 10th discipline, which is the discipline of courage, or you may call it the discipline of thanksgiving, or we might call it the discipline, the one who praises, the discipline of the one, who praises, which is it Thaddeus in the Bible, or Judas, not Judas Iscariot, but the other one, the other Judas, Judy, right? So, but I'm going to take a little bit of a step behind. We're going to go backwards a little bit, because from evaluation, we seem to have lost a lot of people because they are not sure where we are coming from. So in most cases, it's dangerous to not know the beginning of the story and continue. You don't want to start from the middle and continue. So for the benefit of those who are still thinking, what are these guys talking about? What is this Dreamblazers talking about? Going back at this moment, we're just talking about disciplines. The disciplines someone would acquire first before they become. You have to become these disciplines before you can start employing other, external disciplines or disciples, what they call disciples in the Bible. But our philosophy, let's go back to our philosophy. Our philosophy is about the beginning. It's about the beginning. How do you begin your beginning? How do you begin your beginning? So it's all about the beginning. So in most cases, or this is how things operate. Things operate in male and female. Things operate male, female. They're always two, male and female. The beginning, every beginning, if you're beginning every beginning, be it writing, those who are trying to write essays, those who are writing application forms. At the moment, most people, they're trying to write their own application forms. They're trying to write proposals, because there's a lot of funding going around, and they're wondering, how do you approach? What's the approach? So just for the benefit of also those who want to approach funders by themselves. So it's all about male and the female. You have to start everything with male and female. Where they are providers, they should be producers naturally, so that we can have products. Without that, then we'll never have products. So our beginning should always begin with male and female. God is male and female. Business is about male and female. So I'm going to talk about today's discipline, but I'm going to be more into male and female, because it's going to come to that, to how does the two come together, interact, and have products, right? So often, I don't know about you, but when do we start Thanksgiving, what they call Thanksgiving, I think in America? When do you start thanking or Thanksgiving or praising something? We've been talking about plans, talking about ideas, talking about all. When do you praise it? When do you wait to see a thing so that you can thank it? Do you wait to see the results so that you can be thankful? Or do you think while you haven't seen the unseen? Do you thank the unseen? At which point do you thank? I think that's the point here. When do we really say thank you? Right? So in most cases, my problem was I used to want to thank when I've seen it. That's where the issue is. The issues of what we're going to talk about today, about forgiving and forgetting. So in most cases, we want to thank when we've had it, when we've seen it. That's when we think, I was wrong. Why? You must thank while it's still unseen. If you can thank something, or if you can praise something, if you can believe in something before it's seen, the likelihood is that you will see. So most of the things we miss in life is because we wait to see it first, then we thank. So this is what it's all about today, about Judy or Judas or Thaddeus in the Bible, or the discipline of praising and not worshiping, but praising and thanksgiving. When do you give thanks? When do you say thank you? Do you thank before you see it, or you thank after you've seen it? So the principle here is to thank before you see it, while it's still unseen. That's what we call faith. Faith, you show your evidence that you've already received the unseen. So you show evidence. We can see by your happiness. We can see by your reaction. We can see by how how you act, how you are responding, how you are how you are treating others. We can know that you're sure that this thing you're dreaming of, these dreams, this plan, it's coming. It's like when you're building a house, you can praise or you can thank when you got your plan. You can be sure that this house, I'm going to see it. Just like a business. When you've got a business plan, start thinking from the business plan because it's already there. It's evidence. The unseen is evidence on paper. So take it back, simplify it. When you write something you are thinking about, consider it done. That's maybe the simplest form I can put it. When you're thinking of something you've written down, consider it done. When you've thought of something, that's why you have to keep a journal with you, keep a book with you, keep a pen and a book near. If not, write in your notebooks, in your phones. Whenever you think of something, whenever an idea or whenever something comes up, write it down, cast it down. Once you cast it down, consider it done. Though it's not done, but that's the first evidence of your faith that it's going to be done. So that's why we always encourage to have a plan in place before we build houses. We always have a plan in place, and this plan is well written, well drawn with all the details. It's detailed, it's so specific, it's very specific. Your plan has to be very specific so that it can be applied. If it's not specific, then it cannot be applied. Right, so I'm talking about thanking, which is when do you have the courage? Because the other word for that is courage. When do you have the courage? This is those who are courageous. When do you have the courage to see the unseen before they appear? When are you so sure that it's going to happen? Because this is where I think we have problems, when we have a promise and we haven't seen the promise and we want to see the promise today. So in most cases, in terms of funding, our problem is most of us, we get the first bid, we get the first funding. then we seem to end there. We can't see the million. We can't see the buildings. We can't see past 10,000. We can't see past the first blessing. We can't see past the first bid. So we've arrived. We want to spend it all, and I'm thinking it's never gonna happen. Yeah, in my language, they say Mudzimu haupi kaviri. You're only given once, but that's not true. That's not true. If you have your things well planned, you can always replicate what you have planned. If we have a plan of a house, we can build many houses, same houses like the one on the plan. Same with your business plan. If you have a business plan, well planned, yeah, you can be thankful, you can be praising, you can be courageous to go out knowing that you're going to replicate them. The idea here is to replicate every product after its own kind, which what other people call franchising. Franchising is in the Bible, in Genesis 1. So how does this happen? Like I'm saying, in the beginning, we're going to take you a bit backward where all it starts. It starts in the beginning with a male and a female. By the way, words we use are very important because they also, they are male words and female words. So in your beginning, begin with both male and female words. It's those who want to write. So the male words are the darker words, you know, what you call the darkness. Is it darkness? Okay, it's the negative word. That's the masculine words. Then the feminine words are the positive words. So for example, if I say isolation, that's a masculine word. Then if I say inclusion, that's the female side. So the opposite is true. So darkness, light, that's how it goes. So every beginning with male and female. So most people, they were asking on evaluation, what is this male and female? Because that's where it begins. If we continue going, not knowing the beginning, we'll be in trouble. So the male and female is the male is the provider. So naturally, this is where we start. So naturally, let me put it this way. Sorry guys, this morning, it's gonna be more teaching than discussions. Joy is not here. Right, so it always begins with two. So the two here is here. Okay, yeah, let's put it this way. Here, the whole thing we are talking about here is about priority. So I was talking about Thanksgiving today. We're talking about praising. We're talking about courage. Prioritize. Which one I was asking, do you thank first before you receive? Or you receive then you thank? So it's about priority. So in most cases, our priority in receiving is we wait to receive before we praise, before we have courage, before we there's Thanksgiving. Yet we should do that before we receive anything. We should be thanksgiving, we should be praising, we should have the courage even to go out there spreading the word. Right? You can do that, but start by keeping it secret in you until maybe you can spread it, you can spread the word. Right? So it's about priority. Everything we are talking about here is priority. So prioritizing male and female. I know it's not a subject for everyone. Who comes first, Adam or Eve? Which one comes first, the egg or the hen? That's what it is. Okay, so priority. Naturally, this is where it all begins. Naturally, male, this side of things, let's put it male. Male. So male and female. So naturally, yeah, this side, the priority, the male, right? They are supposed to be the provision. So the male side naturally is the provision. Naturally, male should provide. Naturally, male, they provide. What do they provide? They provide the seed, the genes, the generations. They are the ones who carry the generations, or they carry the seed. So naturally, this is where male and female is. There has to be provision from the beginning. And in most cases, I think if you look into the males, let's talk about male, that they don't really, they are just entrusted with the seed. We are entrusted with the seed. And then that seed, in most cases, why we were saying, it has to be, the masculine is negative. How is it negative? It's negative because the seed in its natural form, a seed in its natural form is useless. If we put a seed here, it looks useless. But then there's a lot of potential inside the seed. There's a lot of information inside the seed. This is what when we see a seed, I always feel angry when I finish eating an avocado, or, then I throw away the seed. It's like throwing away an orchard, or throwing away seeds and seeds and seeds and seeds. So that's where franchise is coming from. The seed is full of information, which means it's got another tree inside it, a tree with some more fruits on it, fruits with seed in it, seed with trees in it, trees with, that's how a business should grow. Yeah. So the seed, naturally, it's useless, it's negative. I want us to note that. The seed, in its nature, is negative. Yeah. So if it's negative, like I said, if you say isolation is a negative word, but the opposite becomes the feminine word, right? So provide is the male. Male should provide the seed. Then naturally, the female should produce. Naturally, the female receives. And when she receives, she naturally should produce. Right. So this is where the magic goes. This is where the magic goes. This is where two are important. Why? Because when this one, the female, let's say if the female is by herself, she's also useless because she's got an empty womb. When this one is by himself with his seed, he's also useless, right? So I'm talking about business, family, but mainly today we are talking about business. So for us to have our business to be complete or to run as a fully functional business, you must be able to identify these two. Which one is your female, which one is your male? If you can't identify that, then you'll be in trouble. You'll be in trouble because you can have a male and a female trying to have production by themselves. Then it becomes, you don't have any products. So the idea is to begin everything with male and female. So once you have the male and female in place, now or let me put it this way so that it comes in business. In business, this side becomes your plan. This side, the male, is your idea. the logic, right? So you have a plan and you have an idea, but you prioritize your idea so that you can have a plan. Once you have your plan in place, it's now easy to see the replication or the multiplication of the two coming, you have male, female, male, female, male, female. So that's the beginning for those, because we've had a lot of people saying, where is it coming from? Where is all this coming from? So the disciplines, all these disciplines, they will all come back to two. They will all come back to male and female. This is the beginning of the beginning. So without this, all the other disciplines we are talking about, they will not work for us because we have not understood the beginning. So in most cases, we want to understand the middle section of things before we've understood the beginning. So the beginning is male, have the male and female from the beginning. Then the rest will follow from that. They will reproduce after their own kind. So my question was, at which point now does one give thanks? At which point does one have the courage to say this plan? Because you have this now in place. At which time do you say now, this is going to happen? You are happy. You are celebrating. Which time do you celebrate? Do you celebrate when you see it, or do you celebrate while it's still a womb, or do you celebrate when you see a child? Right. So I'm just talking some same Bible. It's business. So in business, at which point do you want to see the idea coming up, or do you want to? Because the whole issue is a process. So, like I said, when you see a seed, it becomes so useless. Why? Because the process for a tree to grow so that it will have fruits, most of us, we can be discouraged in that process because you can't see it coming. You can't see the fruits because they're hidden on the tree. So it takes someone who believes that this tree is going to bring me fruits, and they can start celebrating just by seeing the tree, seeing the existence of the tree before they can see the fruits. So this is what we are talking about today. Courage, which is in the Bible, Stadius or Judas or Judy, or thanksgiving, praise and thanksgiving. When do you praise? I've always wondered, why do they do praise and worship before a service? So that must be the reason, you praise before you receive. Right. So in so doing, we always play around with certain words I would want to share today, which I think we've all heard as well, that giving is better than receiving. So in so doing, there are two words I want to share today. We want to play around with so that they will make a meaning to us. So there's a word called forgive, and there's a word called forget. Right? So the reason why I'm saying praising is better than praise before you receive is better than praising after. What these words really mean, forgive, personally, what I believe in forgive is to give in advance. If you forgive in advance, if you give in advance, you are likely to forget, to get in advance. So if you want to get in advance, for meaning advance. If you want to get in advance, yeah, get in advance. Forget, yeah, forgive, give in advance. Give in advance. So, but don't just give where there's no agreement. Don't just give to give. Give where there's agreement. God is a God of agreements. is a God of what you call them? Yeah, agreements. Is a God of agreements. So if you want to get in advance, forgive, give in advance. Give in advance. So they say always forgive, 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 forgive. If it's the sorry, I think, but I'm not about morals. If it's sorry, you be the first one to say sorry. Why? Because you want to forget to get in advance. So always giving is better than receiving. So we are talking today about courage, thanksgiving, and also praise. When do you praise? When do you thanksgive? When do you have courage to go out there and say it's finished? Yeah. So the male and female part, right, is the priority. We're saying priority. What do you prioritize? Do you prioritize to receive, or you prioritize to give? Do you prioritize to receive, or do you prioritize to give? So that's what it's all about: praise and worship, praise and. So let's talk about giving and receiving. Which one do you prioritize? Giving and receiving. The Bible says it's better to give than to receive. So give your thanksgiving before you receive. So it's better if you give first. Like we said, we saw from the beginning that it's about provision or providers who we prioritize. Then we will have our producers. So sometimes the reason why we are not producing is because we haven't provided. Once we provide, once you are thankful, you can easily produce from your thanksgiving. You can produce from your thanksgiving, right? So I'm just gonna quickly read what I'm trying to put across. So our discipline today is the 10th one, and it's called Thaddeus in the Bible, or Judy or Judas. So the 10th is the disciple of praise. So the discipline of praise, a quality in which the undisciplined man is woefully lacking. Yeah. So this is what most of us, we lack the praise. We like to praise. We like to give thanksgiving in advance. When this quality of praise and thanksgiving is awake within man, he walks with the words, "Thank you, Father," ever on his lips. He knows that his thanks for things, he knows that his thanks for things not seen opens the windows of heaven and permits gifts beyond his capacity to receive, to be poured upon him. The man who is not thankful for things received is not likely to be the recipient of many gifts from the same source. So this is how we lose our, continuity of gifts, because we've never been thankful in the beginning. So thanksgiving is very important. I know in America, they've got a day they have, isn't it? They got a Thanksgiving Day. That's Thanksgiving. So I think in most cases with most of us people, we are more on the receiving end. We want to just receive. Yet priority should be giving. The more you give, the more you receive. But like I said, don't just give where there's no agreement. There has to be an agreement. There has to be an exchange of value in terms of giving and receiving. there has to be an agreement, male and female. The way a male and a female come together, the same in a business, there have to be that sort of agreement. Right, now, maybe putting it into perspective, those who want to know what really we are talking about is most of us out there, I know while we are seated out there, we got plenty of ideas. Yeah, and I know most of you, you want to keep your idea, right? You're not giving your idea. But like I'm saying, it's not giving to the public. If you have an idea, right? Because most of us, we are struggling. How do I start this? I can't work. I want to work just by myself. You can't. That's not possible. It has to be to Apple, to Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know, there were 3, 4. Microsoft, two. They're always two. They come in twos, right? So if you got an idea, get someone to tell, someone you trust. Don't tell the public. Get someone you trust. Tell them your idea, right? Not ideas. Tell them your one idea. Just, one big idea. When you tell them their idea, usually they become the female part who's going to receive your idea, believe in your idea, and then from there, you start with 2. So whenever you are starting these community organizations, if you are just yourself, it's not gonna work. So start with 2, tell them give your idea, provide your idea if you want to receive. So once you give to them, they receive it, yeah? They are likely to give it back, or they will start running with it. They can start telling you where to go. Most people, I've heard them phoning, say, oh, I've heard about you. Soso was talking about why. They've got the idea of what we do. So now they giving the idea to someone who receives it, then they come to us. So it sells. It's all about selling as well. That's part of selling. So provide to produce. Priority should be providing, not receiving. Provide to produce. That's what it's all about. The whole thing we're talking about, it's coming back to priority. There are always 2 things. So in today's case, praise comes first, courage comes first, thanksgiving comes first. And once you do that, automatically you should receive. And that reception will come back to you as a plan. Will come back as a plan. So let's put it also simple so that someone understands. So you got an idea, right? If you have no one to tell, you can come to Dreamblazers. Tell Dreamblazers your idea, and we will put it to plan. Then we will give it back to you. Then you can start selling it around. You can start selling to other people who should run with it, not yourself. Just running with it yourself, it doesn't work. So we got a lot of problems, this side of things, where we call the public side. You cannot treat your public organization as a private. These are 2 distinct identities. These are male, female. So your public business, your charity, what we are calling charities, they are the male side. They are the ones who should be providing. They are the ones who should have provision. Usually the provision is for free, right? So this side, don't treat it like the private side. This side, it requires 2 or more. The minimum you can have this side is 2 or more. Then your private, it can be just yourself and yourself and yourself, and you can have your private. So simple. But this side, the public side, what we are encouraging people to prioritize, and we are not saying don't do the private. No. You still have a private. But in most cases, from our research, is that your private, usually your private is in your private is in your provision, which is the vision. I think we've done this before. We said just cross out your priority. That's priority. Your provision. Yeah. So provider with a vision, and Adam with an Eve inside. So provision. So your is priority. Your public entity is priority. Prioritize here. Why? Because this site is where the business is formed, work is formed, free things are formed. You can pilot your projects, you can have all that you want without having to spend a penny, without having to break your arm in the leg. Then automatically, as you do that, you're private now. You can do it anytime. We can do your private overnight. You can phone the company's house anytime. You can do it on internet and you get your private just like that. It's easy to get a private, but it's this public site we are saying you should prioritize, because it's a process. It takes time for you to end up with a public body. But today we're talking about praise. We are talking about courage. We are talking about thanksgiving. So while you still have your public, yeah, see your private also coming. While you still have your seed, see your tree coming. Maybe to make it easy. While you still have your seed, see your tree coming and the fruits, because the fruits comes from the tree. So while you're operating, keep time, guys, in your public. Keep your time. Take time to have your public body. Because it is the seed, it is the genes, it is where your private you're looking for should come out of. So, talking of that, should you have a private limited before a public? This is about companies. Should we have a private before a public? I'll leave that to debate, but from principles, it says prioritize the ones on the left, the provision. Prioritize this side. I'm not saying there's no provision there. There can be provision there, but the Bible said, surely you will die in that provision. The shortcomings here, quick back, you will surely die. But this side, it can take you longer. You've got a long vision. You're going to have impact in the community when you're using funding. Why? Because it's always there. It's always there. It just needs you to meet conditions. It just needs you to be accountable. And you can grow it as much as you grow your private business, by the way. In private limited, you want your credit rating, isn't it? In the public sector, we call it funding rating. So you also need to maintain your public, your funding rating as much as you maintain your credit rating. So most people, they come, they want to have so much before they started. They want to have so much. They want to have, there's millions there. So they are asking, can I do the millions? Can I go to Africa? So I'm saying, no, start small. Start being accountable. Start building your funding rating. It's about trust. You need to be building your funding rating. Yeah. So in there, like I'm saying, keep praising in there. Have the courage in there. Have the thanksgiving in there. Why? Your private will eventually come. Your private will eventually come. Don't be having no patience and thinking, oh, I want to see, my private. Where do I benefit? Maybe those who can't understand the language I'm talking about, it's about benefits. So some, they want to quickly have their private benefits. private benefits. Be it a car, be it a house, be it money. When do I get my wages? You're telling me to open a public body, a charity, so you call them. When am I going to have my pay? Take time. It takes 3 years to be a nurse. How long should it take you to have an organization set up? 1 year, 6 months. So take time in here so that you can have the public benefits. Keep yourself in the public benefits. Prioritize your public benefits before you prioritize your private benefits. So that's the male and female. It's about priority. If anything, we are talking about from the beginning. We're saying prioritize your seed. Have a seed first. Don't start with a tree so that you can have fruits. Once you have a seed, you can replicate the seed. You can have if you understand your seed, in the information in your seed, you can replicate that seed over and over again. But if you start with the middle, if you eat the tree in the middle, if you eat the tree in the middle of the garden, let me put that one. If you eat the tree, my paper is finished. Okay. Maybe so that we don't talk in parables here. So the reason why you should not eat the tree in the middle of the garden. Garden just means order. This is order. This is the order. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's the order. So in order, when I'm talking about priority, so let me not talk in parables now. So when in order, in natural order, those who know a seed, you should know a tree, you should know the fruits. So in order of priority, you will have to start with a seed here. Right? We have a seed to start with. In most cases, the seed is useless to us. That's why we throw away seeds, because we don't see the tree inside it. We don't see the fruits inside it. So in most cases, the seed is useless. Right? Remember, keep in mind, we are talking about priority and we are talking about the provider. So your charity is useless. Yeah? Your public body, your charity, let's put it this way. Those who have community organizations, who have charities, they seem useless at the moment. They look you, because why? It's the provider. It is the seed. So it's useless. You can't see the tree, you can't see the fruits, right? So let me put it in order first so that we see what I'm talking about. So here, after you have a seed, what comes after a seed? So priority. What comes after a seed is a tree. What comes after a seed is a tree, right? Then just to finish the process, what comes after the tree is the fruits. So the fruits grow on the apples. Let me put apples, right? So what comes after the tree is fruits. So that's the process. And the priority should be given on the seed. Because in the seed is all the information about the tree, is all the information about the fruits. They are all in one, right? In a seed, there's information about the tree that's going to grow out of the seed. There's a tree hidden in a seed, and there are fruits hidden on the tree, right? So, talking about praise, courage, and all this, yeah? A farmer, the moment they put a seed in the ground, they can go home, sleep, spend months, they finished, they considered finished, right? So farmers are a good example of what we are talking about today, right? So the process here is prioritize here, because if you have this, you can replicate this everywhere. You can plant it everywhere, and you can still have same trees, same fruits. So that's priority of, right? So the seed, the tree produces. What does it produce? Products, which is fruits. Right? So still going back, so that we don't confuse each other, still goes back to idea, plan, and products, or out a plan. If you plan, you got products, yeah, products. Going back to the male, female, and products. So priority is given to your charitable organization. Priority is given to those who have, start with the community organization. So spend time there. Don't worry, it might look useless, like I was saying. A seed will obviously look useless. But guess what? In that seed, in that charitable organization, there is going to grow a tree with process, with meeting certain conditions. There is going to come out a tree or trees, right? So inside your seed is hidden a tree. When that tree comes out with the right conditions met, remember, a seed needs the right conditions. So the conditions is what we always share every day: constitution, aims and objectives, community account, business plan, evaluation framework. With those conditions met, your tree will automatically come out. Your charity will automatically come out. Your tree will automatically come out. Then take care of the tree. That's the other thing. Let's take care of the tree. Take time watering it. Take time watering. Remember, I was saying about public funding, having to grow your funding rating. Nurture it. Nurture your tree. Why? Because on it already there are fruits that are going to grow. But while you're nurturing the tree, while you're watering the tree, sometimes you don't see the fruits. You cannot even see, you cannot even know that this tree is going to have fruits eventually. But if you keep nurturing it, and when the right time comes, please keep praising and worship, keep praising and thanksgiving all the way. When the right time comes, then the fruits will automatically start growing from the tree, right? The good thing about this process is that once a tree is grown and it has grown its fruits, automatically inside the fruits, there are already seeds growing in there. So they are replicating now after their own kind. Now you can grow this tree everywhere in the world, right? So it will be easy. Those who want to grow, who always talk about Africa when international. It will be easy now to take a fruit that is grown here and go and, or maybe take a seed that is grown on a tree here and take it now internationally, take it, to Africa, and you can grow the same tree. You can take it to America, you can take it to Canada. I'm talking about charities. Growing your charity here, home in UK, where you are, charity begins at home. Then as you grow it, you can end up with more. Then with more, you take more abroad, right? So it's a process. It's a process. But today we are talking about praising. We're talking about Judas. We're talking about Judy or Thaddeus in the Bible, a discipline of praise, a discipline of thanksgiving, a discipline of courage. When do you have courage? Yeah, courage to go out there knowing this has happened, this is finished. When do you have that? After all the other disciplines we've been talking about, where we said everything begins with desire in the beginning. You have to have desire. Then desire, you have faith. Then with faith, you have to have organized knowledge. With organized knowledge, you have to have persistence. You have to persist these are disciplines. With persistence, you have to have courage. With courage comes fruits. Without these disciplines, it's difficult. So they might look awkward. They might not feel it's important, but it's very, 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 very important. I want to share something as well where it says, what is success? So according to Jim Rohn, I listen to Jim Rohn a lot. You should listen to Jim Rohn. According to Jim Rohn says success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Success is nothing more than a few disciplines practiced every day. These are the disciplines we're talking about. Those few disciplines, yeah? If you practice them every day, if you practice thanksgiving, if you practice courage, if you practice persistence, if you practice faith every day, those small disciplines, yeah, that's what success is. So success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's Jim Rohn. Success, that's the equation for success. Then also, according to Jim Rohn, what is, let me see if I can see, what is failure? According to Jim Rohn, what is failure? Failure cause. So, I'll look for that. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. But I can give you a formula for failure. Try, please, everybody. I'll look for that. When it comes, I'll look for that. So also, I think with failure is those, if you're not practicing those small disciplines every day, you are failing. So it's either you are planning to fail or you are failing to plan. That's what it is. So plan. If you plan, it will come to fruition. So your planning begins with two in the beginning. As you have two, the two will interact and they'll end up with the products we are looking for. So here, those who've been following us, we're talking about charities, companies, and then the success, which is prioritize a charity. Prioritize a charity. But we are not saying don't have a company. No. We're saying start with the charity, the charitable side, so that your private side can automatically should come out of your charitable side. Your business should come out of your charitable side. Your business should come out of your charitable side. Don't start business, then try to be charitable. It's good, but it's dangerous, right? It's good, but it's dangerous. So priority, like we've seen, should be given to the male side, which is your public body. Then as we nurture our public body, naturally, your private will come. Your private benefits will come out of your public body. So maintain your public body, maintain your charity, maintain your charitable side, maintain giving. So should I say? But like I said, giving is a transaction of giving and receiving. Make sure the one who you are giving is also producing. Don't give those who don't. You give them, and then they, don't just give out money, and then they are doing nothing for you. So it's a transaction. If I say I'm gonna offer you a service, you give me money, then I should be able to give you back, the service I'm offering. It's an agreement. It's a contract. There has to be a contract. It's not just about giving, then I wait, I'll receive. No, it's about giving where there's a contract drawn, and if you can, please sign the contracts, because this is where we are failing. I was with my good friend yesterday, and we were talking about where we are failing in most cases is in documentation. We don't document things. We don't document our work. We don't document agreements. We don't document a lot of things, we are doing. So we end up losing value because it's never there. It cannot be followed. It's not written. There's no plan. If it's still in your idea, it's just an idea. It's in your head. It's an idea. It's not a plan. So we need to document our things. Right. Whoa, time is flowing. It's gone fast. It's 4 minutes left. Can I just ask if there's any questions? We can have questions. Let me see if we have questions. I'm trying my best today. It's not easy by yourself. I'm used to doing these things with Joe, and like I'm saying, always two or more, 2 or 3, things becomes easy. Yeah, right. So any questions so far? Good morning, Miss Jew last week. My pastor. Good morning, Evelyn Mijaya, Charity Badenika, Chanakira. Hello, my pastor. Lisa T. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, wife. Mamoyo Mebis, Mahas. Morning. Mafara Wilfred Mwati. Guys, morning. Questions, please. Or any contributions. Can we have contributions? Guys, can we contribute? How do I register my charity? Evelyn Mujai. How do you register your charity? Right, you contact Dreamblazers. They'll register. They'll help you to register your charity. Unless if you ask him to register by yourself, you go to Charities Commission website and you can register your charity. But guys, there's also requirements there. There's things you need to meet to register your charity. So there's let me just maybe pre-warn you, those who want to register charities, because this is the time, if you want more money, you have to register as a charity now, those who've got community groups. Right, to register a charity, there is requirements. And one of the requirements is you should have your 3 people signing, right? You should have 3 people signing, right? Then you should have a business plan in place. You should have your business plan in place. Then you should have a constitution, a drafted constitution. There are different constitutions out there depending on your structure. So you need to have a constitution drafted. Then also they can ask you about your accounts. They can ask you about if you are dealing with young people, you are dealing with vulnerable people. They also ask you about what you call them, the documentation about that. Yeah, they can ask you about that. You have to provide that. I think we all know if you're dealing with vulnerable people, you're dealing with young people, you're dealing with the elderly, you need to have some documentation to show that you know about these laws and so forth. Also, what I can do, Evelyn, we can send you out all these requirements, or if you so want, we can help you to register charity. Right. How do I register charity? Right. Any other questions? No questions, right? So those who've joined us, or those who've been watching, thank you for watching, guys. We'll be updating people. At the moment, let me just say, we've got very, very, very good news, because we've been struggling to adjust ourselves to the COVID applications. So it's been difficult to quite write what they wanted, but now we know, and we have now testimonies, we have now results, we have some applications we have gone through, and at some point we'll try. We are still working on it, where we can give testimonies on this platform. So we're going to give platform as testimony. Why we want to give testimonies? We want to encourage people. We want to encourage those who want to grow. If you really want to grow from now onwards, You got your first grant, right? To grow is be accountable of your first grant, then register as a charity. Once you register now as a charity, you can now go above 10,000. We've been struggling to go above 10,000 because people are not registered as charities, and people, they've not done their accounts. They're not accountable. They've not accounted for their first grant, meaning we need receipts to show that how you spend the money. You need to have receipts. And also, guys, please follow your application forms. Follow what's written on your proposal. Don't just start running your project without looking at your proposal. It's like building a house without a plan. It doesn't work, because all your accountability comes from what the application or the proposal was, how it was written, what it says on the proposal. So it's very important to follow the proposal. If there's any changes, phone them and tell them that you want to change. There's a line there you can phone and change if you have any change of plans, especially now with COVID coming. We're not sure whether there's going to be another strike or another, what do you call it? If there is, then call them, tell them we are changing your plans. Right, with that, I think we're done for this morning. We'll join you, please join us, and I'll join you this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Please, if you have any questions, just continue writing on the group there, and you have our numbers, you have our emails. Write to us, and we'll come back to you if you have any questions. Those trying to register, like Evelyn, please do contact us. We can help you to register charities. With that, we've come to the end of our morning session. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. Good day.